everyone, welcome back to our community. I'm Jen. I focus on all things self-care wellness while living in New York City, and I'm so happy to be back to sit-down videos. So let's dive right into it. I'm not worried about the background, how I look, anything, because we are back to full-time life, and in order to get in these sit-down videos, I just gotta wing it. So today we are planning for 2023. For me, what planning looks like, especially in this upcoming year, is creating systems to better support my goals. That is step one for planning for me in 2023. So let's start there. So that is planning or refining new systems for both work and wellness. I'm going to write down every single thing I do for work. I have side hustles, I have my main job, and write down what I felt was lacking in terms of a plan, a system, structure, or even just like emotionally last year. So I'm gonna journal on that. Like I just mentioned, I have put these sit-down videos on the back burner, and when I was reflecting on this, I realized a huge part of what I love about YouTube is sitting down and actually directly inspiring, motivating, educating you guys. When I journaled on this, I decided, why are we waiting for 2023 to start? Let's start now. I looked at my new structure of my day and realized, okay, once a week or once every other week, I can, instead of working out from 9 to 10 a.m., dedicate time to filming some sit-down videos before I start work at 10. So then I went into my Google Calendar and every other week put in an hour to film 1 to 3 sit-down videos before work from 9 to 10. And the night before, I'll script those out. So I already started that last night, but that is an example of reflecting on the last year, and then how can we put actual things in action, and action steps and next steps and systems to make sure that it actually happens. Because so often we set goals or systems or whatever that they're not actually going to work in our schedule, you know? Like you'll be like, oh, I'm gonna start waking up at 5 a.m., but you don't go to sleep till 12 a.m. every night, so that makes no sense. So that's just one example. Same thing goes for my next bucket, which is podcasting. Something I hated about the last year that actually made me take a break from the podcast was how much work keeping up with the Instagram was, and I decided, you know what, all that's important is promoting it through short form video content, so that is all I'm gonna do. So that's another system I set in place. Another system I set in place was we could do 9 a.m. recordings every Friday, we can do Sunday recordings, we can batch record over December break, and then set aside time to edit and create these video assets and everything that I'm talking about before I even start uploading them weekly, as to not overwhelm myself and make sure that I can be consistent with it once I start up the podcast again. So these are just examples of how I've implemented it, but basically it's step one is reflecting, and step two is how can I actually change it and create a new system for myself that sets myself up for success that makes sense in my own schedule. Moving on to wellness for a system. So that could be a new workout routine, that could be actually looking into gym memberships and how much that's going to cost in your budget. Actually setting yourself up for success. Let's start with 10-minute Pilates, you know, during my lunch break 3 times a week, and putting it into your calendar and setting yourself up for success with that new system. Okay, next up is just journaling in general. So it is really similar to step one, but this is more just getting deeper into personal growth rather than setting up systems like professionally or like for wellness goals. It's more for your personal and spiritual growth. Reflecting on, was I really negative this year? How could I change the thoughts that are going through my head? Can I start my day differently than I've been starting? Can I start sleeping more? Can I start picking up a meditation practice? So just reflecting on habits and spiritual growth and how your energy and emotions have been over the last year and what has contributed to that and what we can leave behind and bring into the next year. Goal setting. So here are my non-negotiables for goal setting. It has to be things that are in our control. So instead of gain 10,000 followers, maybe it's post 1 video a week or post 3 TikToks a day. Things that are in our control. And you can still write down like 10,000 subscribers or something, but make sure you're putting things that are in your control underneath it at least. Something I saw that I loved in terms of buckets was personal growth, professional, and then dream big. So dream big might be those goals that like are a little out of your control. Writing it down to manifest it, but knowing that in a year from now, if you look back at that, it's okay if you didn't accomplish it because it wasn't necessarily in your control, but it's something that you want to keep working towards and like putting on your list every year. So I like to do a wellness category, personal growth, so that's more like spiritual and mindfulness, and then the wellness category is more like focusing on gut health and like my physical wellness, like fitness and things like that. Career and professional growth. I like to do a relationships category. It might be spend more time with this person. It might be make new friends in this new city, like make 3 new friends in 6 months, something like that. Another one I love to do is financial. It's not professional for me. It's like getting better about my budget, you know, every single month, looking through my transactions. That could be something that's in my control. And the final category for me is home. I like to set some home goals because I believe that my physical space affects my mental space, and I feel like it's something that goes on the back burner for me. So whether it's organization related, you know, going through my closet every month, or making sure I do one thing for the home every month when it comes to home decor, because it fills me up and it's something that I don't end up doing enough, that I've really gotten into this year. The last 2 things I love to do is a word or a phrase for the year. So I remember I usually do this around my birthday, and for my birthday I decided it was release pressure. So I wanted to infuse the fun back into social media, and something I did that was in my control was getting a full-time job back and using social media as more of a creative outlet, even though I have such big goals for it. That's just one example of something I did around my birthday, and a phrase that I set that I acted on, and that's something that you can do for the new year and just journal on and think about. Maybe it's looking back at those things you wanted to bring into the next year when you journaled on that and finding a common theme. Lastly is a vision board. I love playing around with vision boards on Photoshop. Honestly, I don't look at it for the rest of the year, but it just gets me inspired for the year, and then that could help me kind of come up with a phrase for the year. I should really look at it more after making it, but I kind of just do that for fun. This was more of a planning video, not manifestation, but like true planning, action steps. Let's take action so that we can actually meet our goals instead of just like throwing around buzzwords and actually meeting some goals for the next year. It's inevitable that you're not going to meet them all. It's okay to carry some goals over to the next year, but that's why I like to do things that are really in our control. My goal is to post more sit-down content, and if that means I have to sacrifice being a perfectionist about the setting and about how I look and all of those things, as long as I'm providing valuable content to you, that is all I care about. So have a great 2023. Write down at least one of your goals in the comments so that we can all get inspiration from each other. Subscribe if you're new. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. And I'm going to be posting more sit-down content this year. If you're new, I post a lot of videos where I try out wellness rituals. I go try out acupuncture for a month or lymphatic drainage massage, and I try out all these fun things and have the experts tell us about them. But most importantly, I post a lot of vlogs every single week and a lot of inspiring sit-down content like this. So hope you enjoyed it. I love you all so much.
You could say this isn't